All right, let's try that again. So, hello and welcome to the first live stream on my channel. Doing this because of you guys. I hit 500 subscribers, so thank you guys so very much for that. If you are here and you are in chat, let me know because I don't have any OBS settings set up for notifications. I do have my chat up though, so just kind of give you a rundown of what we're gonna do today. I don't know how it's gonna go. I didn't really practice this or anything, so it's up in the air. So what I'm gonna do is I found 6 random objects, and we're just gonna randomly pick one, and then from there I'm going to pick a random sound effect, and I'm going to try and use that object to make that sound effect. Again, don't know how it's going to go. So, let's see here. Let me pull up. We're going to do it this way. I've used this in a previous video. And I guess I should probably switch displays so you can see it. There we go. Right. So what I've done is I already figured out what 6 random objects I'm going to put in here. This idea was actually from my wife. Back before I even started my YouTube channel. So I've got 6 objects. I'm gonna randomly pick one, and then, like I said, I'm gonna then randomly pick a sound effect. So let's go ahead and pick our random object here. Glass. Okay, so whatever sound that the next list picks, I'm going to use glass to try and make that sound. All right, let's see what we got. New list. And spin it. Again, no idea. Okay, we're using glass to make an explosion. Okay, so that might be a little difficult because glass has a lot of high-end frequencies in it. And okay, whatever. We're gonna do it because I said we're gonna do it. Also, I'm rambling because this is my first live stream, and typically I pre-record all this stuff, and half of it's scripted. So you're gonna get a lot of me rambling. I have no idea how long this live stream is gonna go. I have no idea how it's gonna go. So if you are here, let me know in the chat, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself like a crazy person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this website. It's a great resource for free sound effects, and I use it quite a bit. So unfortunately, you're not going to see me breaking a bunch of glass on this stream. So we're just going to focus on getting library sounds. And I also apologize, I've got a tickle in the back of my throat, so I've got a cough drop in my mouth. Let's see what we can find for glass. And see if we can find any sounds that would be good for explosion sounds. Okay. That might work. well, so I'm just gonna just download these. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay and the computer okay, because I've been playing around with these settings and I probably messed them all up. Also, you may hear my cat meowing in the background, apparently. No. Nope. Okay, stop it. Okay, that's got some lower frequencies in there. That might work okay. And honestly, I should probably be checking the sample rate and bit depth on these. Otherwise, I'm going to end up having to convert them. Okay, that one's got some nice low end frequencies in it. So oh, I just downloaded that because I'm an idiot. Glass on glass. That sounded like a wood plank. Nah, it sounds cheesy. One of the downsides about using freesounds.org is unfortunately it's all user created. I mean it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like if you're looking for like high end sound effects, you really kind of gotta dig for it. Okay, we might be able to get some debris sounds out of that. So I have things moving on other screens, and every time they move, I had ADHD. Let's grab a few more, and see what we can get here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one because it's got a few of them in there, and I can just flip those. Alright, and I don't know if all these are gonna work in Pro Tools because looks like we've got some AIFFs, some FLAC, which I'm pretty sure works in Pro Tools. I typically only mess around with Wave and MP3. So I'm gonna drag this back over here. Alright. Import audio. And Okay, so we're fine with that. That one will need converted. Converted. That one will work. And okay. We'll grab these. I can import the other. Oh, it's not gonna let me pull all these in. Oh, it's not gonna let me pull in the FLAC ones? Okay, great. Alright, so let me grab a few of these. And typically this is what you guys get a music montage to, but you get me doing this in real time now. There. And if at any point anyone has any question, again, otherwise I'm just talking to myself. Okay, now let's tackle this one. This is just all the tedious stuff. Guess I probably could have been using tab to transient this whole time. All one. Alright, so we don't want And all right, so that's all right. So we got all those trimmed out. And we've got 1, 2, 9 more. So I'm going to more stereo. Just so I can have everything on its own individual track. And we're going to add a mask fader here. Bring this down. Even though I know it's going to sound like garbage and I haven't done any EQing or mixing or anything to it, I always like to listen to all my sounds together just so I know where I should be starting. Okay, so not really explosion, more like, I don't know, a car crash. But we can change that. So there wasn't really anything that stood out to me that was kind of an ear sore, if that's a thing. And I know ear sores are, but not, you know what I mean. Let's bring up our mix window. This is the part of sound design that's not great for live streaming because this is about to get really repetitive. That's probably making your ears bleed. Okay. I really like sound. I think that's probably where the meat of our explosion is going to come from. And so for anybody who's just joining or just coming into this video after it's been live streamed, what I'm doing is I picked a random sound and a random sound effect, or a random object and a random sound, and I'm using that object to make that sound. And so what we ended up with was we have to turn glass into an explosion. I'm actually going to start EQing. I want to pull some lows out of a couple of these. Let's throw a little bit of distortion in. The level. Just crank it up. Too much. Okay. So where was my other one that sounded pretty deep? Was it this one? Oh, thanks, James. I do apologize. I don't have notifications pulled up. So if I don't glance over and see the chat, then I apologize. But like I mentioned before, I don't know when you came in. We picked a random object, and we're making a random sound effect from it. So what we ended up picking was using glass to make an explosion sound. So I just grabbed a bunch of random glass sound effects, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Even in my studio area here, that's obnoxiously loud, and there's still just a ton of high end in there. I don't know. We'll deal with it in a little bit. That one sounded weird. Okay, that's that. Let's chop that. Okay, perfect. Yeah. That one is another one that I think is really great for low end. I'm just going to copy and paste these plugins over here for now. Ooh, that was unexpected. All right, that one took me by surprise because that worked way better than I thought it was going to. Okay, let's keep going. I'm actually gonna not listen to that one for a second. I may come in here and retweak some of these, but Okay, that one's kind of long too. Okay. Oh, we're clipping so much. Let's pull this. Okay, I need the fade out on this one to be shorter. Same with that one is still long. Pull that. Oh, loop playback. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Okay. That's not terrible. Let's pull these down preemptively. Okay. A lot of these higher end ones I'm just gonna pull down quite a bit. Because I like the low end of the ones that we did some EQing and I ran through in essentially a guitar amp simulator. So we're gonna make the tail of this one a little shorter too. And this is really just my process. I will sit here for hours upon hours listening to the same sound effects over and over and over again. And it kind of gets annoying after a while, but okay, that really isn't terrible. I don't know, I kind of like that. I'm sure my wife is really annoyed though. Like she told me she was gonna take a nap, and I'm in here just, you know, repeating explosion sounds. Let me throw a limiter on here. You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna let it clip. What I am going to do though is I'm gonna throw this through a reverb. Let's go ahead and make a new stereo aux track. And we're just gonna call this reverb. Okay. So I'm gonna throw this off to the side for now because I'm not sure exactly what kind of reverb we're gonna end up using. Pull up our sends here. And for now, I'm just gonna throw them all over into the that reverb track. Because reverb's gonna allow me to kind of, I don't know, smooth over all the rough edges to kind of put a visual example to, you know, what we're doing audibly. So that works. Again, way better than expected. Let's play around with some different reverbs though. I have this problem though when I listen to sound effects over and over again, which is the same problem that I have when I work on like visual stuff. Like if I'm making thumbnails for my videos, if I look at a word too long, that word looks like it's misspelled to me. Even a word as simple as the word the. I'll get to a point to where I'm looking at the word and it just doesn't look like it's spelled right anymore. And the same thing happens with sound effects for me. I'll listen to a sound and it sounds great. It would totally work. And then the more and more I listen to it, it's like, no. Something's wrong. Oh, and I know exactly where it's coming from. There's like a weird, I don't know, secondary portion to the sound, if that makes sense. Oh, it's this one. Okay. So now we need to drag our reverb back out a little bit. I actually think we're pretty close. I mean, for as little effort as what was put into this. Let's throw an EQ here on our master fader. I don't have a mastering suite, so this is about what. Actually, before I do that, do I ever have downtime for commission sound effects? Yeah. More time than I care to admit, actually. The day job, I work 4 10s, so that gives me 3 days to really mess around with stuff, which is when I usually record my videos for my YouTube channel. I try to put out videos at least once a week. But yeah, I like getting paid, so I'm always down for commission sound effects. Let's see here. Where's our blue cat? The analyzer. Am I blind? I try out a bunch of plugins, so I always have just a ton listed here, and in all honesty, I'm just too lazy to go through and clean out my unused plugins. Like all my RX stuff, I did the trial version, and the trial version's over. Alright, I've got to be blind. Where is it? God, if somebody sees it, please point it out. I'm looking for the blue cat frequency analyzer. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like I said, if you like I watched your live stream the other day, which for anybody else who's watching, Spot Crawlers Wrestling is working on a video game, and I don't know how often he live streams his development process, but he does stream it over on Twitch. So if you want, man, go ahead and throw your Twitch channel in there. And James, yeah, I'm gonna do some panning here in a little bit. I just want to get the sound kind of where I want it first, and then we'll start panning it out. Oh my god, there it is. Alright, so this just kind of gives us an idea frequency-wise where we're at, which kind of having a, I mean, it's not really flat, but a more so flat response isn't terrible. Because I mean, if you just have all low end, then there's no real definition to it, and it'll sound like garbage. Let's actually give it just a little more around 1K. I don't want to go too much. Okay. So, yeah, as James mentioned, and now let's actually go through and mess around with the panning. I don't want to do too much panning though, because in all honesty, an explosion, we should be doing a mono, because an explosion is going to happen in front of you, and then run it through a stereo reverb. if I had some good convolution reverbs, I've got a convolution reverb plugin, but I don't have a whole lot of good convolution reverbs for it. I should have made these all mono. And I know that I'm not playing the audio while I'm doing this. I just gonna give it some random panning to give us a starting point. Actually, these low end ones, I'm gonna put those in the middle. Because the low end ones are really our like our meat and potatoes of the explosion. So the rest of this is just kind of filler. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. So yeah, definitely go check out Spot Callers because the game he's working on looks really cool. It's kind of a turn based, like a card based wrestling game, which I've never seen. So definitely a cool concept. Go check that out. This one kind of has like a glass double tap at the end, which sounds a little weird when it's all the way in the right speaker there. All right, I clipped some of these too short. Yeah, now I'm getting to the back end to the points where it sounded great at first, and now it kind of sounds like crap. And I think it's because we opened the center channel up for. I'm gonna go back to wide stereo on that. Something doesn't sound quite right now. What is it? Excuse me while I pick my nose, apparently. Do another aux track here. And if you've seen my other videos, and you know, I'd like to play around with a plugin called MH Thump. It's kind of like a sub-frequency harmonizer almost. Close it for now. No, I don't need this on. Let's put it on the ones that we did the low end stuff for. And depending on what device you're watching this on, you either heard a really low sub thump or it, I don't know, blew your speakers, because that was way louder than I wanted. All right. Somebody tell me what doesn't sound right about this. It definitely doesn't sound right. Maybe it's a type of reverb. Let's see what other reverb. Like I said, I do have convolution reverb here. Which, if you're looking for a really good convolution reverb, this is free. And it's got some crazy, like, crazy control over what you can do. It does have some kind of like some preset convolution reverbs, but you can completely import your own, which I do eventually want to do a video on recording convolution reverbs, because there's a set of caves north of here, probably about 5-6 hours north of here, because I'm in Orlando. There's some caves up in the panhandle of Florida that I would love to get into and see if they would let me do some convolution reverb stuff. Okay, calm down. Calm down. That was just way too much. Hi, Mom. All right, let's see here. Because I want something, I want a big reverb, but not too big. Apparently a large living room is too big. That's not bad. Okay. Alright, maybe I am going to put a limiter on here. And for me, this is really what sound design is I play around with stuff. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm a master sound designer. I've done some cool gigs, I've made some cool sounds, but I'm still learning, even though I've been doing this for years. Okay, reverb's a little too much. I like the quality of the reverb, but the reverb itself is just too much. And now I'm starting to question our EQ choices here. Ooh. Okay, we're back to a spot where I really like the sound now. And now I'm afraid to touch it again. Okay, reverb just a little off. Like I said, I like the reverb. Just, I don't know, it's a little much. And now it's not enough. Yeah, I'm running into this problem though that I don't want to overproduce it. I don't want to overdo it because I mean, let's be honest here. We started with just glass, and we've now made it to this point, which, in all honesty, is a little impressive. Because I thought when we started with a random object and a random sound, this was not going to turn out well. I have an idea. Because the low end is what I need to carry. So let's make a new reverb track, because I'm going to do a separate reverb for the low stuff. We'll do kind of a shorter reverb for like the high tinsely, like actual, like the debris sound that we're still getting from the glass. But we'll do a longer reverb for the low end. So let's go back up here. Gonna send these to the Reverb 2 track that we made. Okay, so now we need a different reverb for that. Could have been real cool. All right, now we're getting into a weird area. I could do a reverse reverb into the explicit. No, stop. That's not what we're doing. We're making the explosion. This is my problem too. Like my brain totally gets off on tangents like that. All right, so that's not terrible. I honestly feel like I should leave that alone. Because if I keep messing with it, I'm just gonna end up where we'll be here all day long. So that's where I'm going to call that sound. And I think that means that's where I'm going to call the live stream. I mean, we've been here for about an hour. And I appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out. Like I said, this is my first live stream, so it really wasn't as organized. But if you liked what I did here with picking a random sound or a random object and a random sound, then let me know. Whether you're watching right now or you're watching, the live stream later, let me know in the comment section. And because I think this would be really cool to turn into kind of a series. And I know that, I haven't done my I challenge you to sound design this scene or, whatever, this clip. I know I haven't done those in a little while. The last challenge that I put out, I actually got 0 responses for. Which doesn't mean that I'm not going to do them anymore. It just means that I'm kind of hanging tight on those for now. If you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're also more than welcome to join the Sound Effects Guy Discord server. There's a link down in the description below. And yeah, that's about it. Again, thank you guys for the 500 subs. Here's to 1,000. I don't know. We'll get there. I do have, it's kind of an out there idea for 1,000 subscribers, which oddly enough kind of coincides with this video. All the information I'm going to give you for now, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Like I said, it's an out there idea, but enough being weird and secret. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, hanging out. And yeah, until next time.